On this episode 85 of the podcast, I'm going to talk about an update on the record situation from the other week, tractors, how exciting, and meetings. So let's get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Luke Who's Talking podcast. How are you going out there? I was just watching a video on YouTube of somebody cutting up belts. Yep, they had about 5 different ones, and they cut the buckles off, and they're like, oh yeah, it's a good buckle. And then they just cut the belt like in half and like ripped it apart, and they're like, oh yeah, don't buy this Gucci one because it's awful. Which was sort of how it was. The Gucci one wasn't that great. Anyway, we're not here to talk about belts now, but how about belting out of tune? What a bad transition, but whatever. Now, the last episode 85, I talked about that I had ordered the new ABBA record, and that I had a call from the store, and they're like, oh yeah, so we don't know when it's going to be here. Like, it'll be here at some point. When we don't know. Anyway, so I got a call from them the week after, which must have been last week, because that's the bit in between the two shows. And they were like, "Oh yeah, so your record's here. Your record's here. So have to come and get it." So it's gone from like the previous week. It's going to be here at some point. We don't know when. To then pretty much a week after that, last week or whatever it was, I don't know dates. Going, oh yeah, so your vinyl's here. It's here. Your record's here. So I was like, okay, thanks, store. Jeez. But it was anyway. I have it. It's in the room. It's here with me. But just come on, like you've gone from so your order. We don't know when it's going to be here. Yeah, sorry about that. The distributor doesn't even know when they're going to get it. That was apparently the story. To then, a week later going, oh, yeah, so your thing's here, your record's here now. It's in the shop. Come and get it. Wow. Just wow. Anyway, so there you go. I was, after the first phone call, when they were like, oh, it's not here, it won't be here, I thought Christmas is ruined. It's a disaster. And now that I've got it, it is slightly comical that I have it, considering it's gone from, don't know when it's going to be here, mate, to, oh, yeah, it's you come and get it in the space of like a week. Oh, my goodness. What? Why am I yawning? What a time. Let's go to a jingle and other stuff will be coming up. Wow. We're back. I mean, you haven't gone anywhere, but whatever. So, the other week, my brother, right, he does a little bit of tractor work. Right? He does some tractor work. So, the other week, he was like, oh, do you want to come baling with me? Because they're doing hay. So I was like, yeah, okay. Why not? Not doing anything else. So, it's fine. But what we had to do is we had to drive the tractor through town. Yeah, so because the tractor was at like one side of town and where we had to go was on the other side of town. So henceforth we drove the tractor through town, which was a comical experience. It was an interesting experience, right? Because it's huge, but driving the tractor through town, it's not too bad because the speed limit, the traffic in town goes about as fast as what the tractor does. So that's a non-issue. But when you get onto the highway or the roads where the limit sort of 80, 90, 100 kilometres, you start to feel the lack of speed, could you say, in the in the tractor. But also being high up and being able to look down on the peasants in their everyday vehicle was it was just a little bit of, it was a novel, I'll say it was a novel experience riding in the tractor through town. Now this is a reference for the locals, but when we were going up the outlet, that was a bit of a struggle going up the outlet in the tractor, because the tractor through town, I was saying, like, it has a speed of it can do about 45 or 50 k's. So when you're going through the city or on flatter roads, that's not really a problem. But when you've got to go up the outlet, and the baler, I think, weighed about 4 tons, which is quite a bit. Having to go up the outlet in the tractor was a doozy for sure. And then, well, I'm yawning. My apologies. Why am I yawning? I was fine, and now I've started talking to you. I've just the yawn central. My goodness. Yeah. So that was interesting, and then taking the tractor back down the outlet after we were finished was also a bit of a experience. So yeah, we started at one suburb on one side of town, drove the tractor through town, went to where we had to go, did the job, and then drove the tractor back to where we got it from. So we had to take it through town the opposite way. So yeah, coming down the outlet was interesting, because that's pretty steep, but it wasn't too bad. And the tractor, the instructor's seat, or the passenger seat, had a seatbelt, so I thought I'll put that on just like in case. I mean, I probably wouldn't seatbelt up, but I was like, I'll just slip that on, just in case, there's a bit of added security, I guess you could say. But yeah, it was most definitely an interesting experience. Yeah, I've been on tractors, like driving down roads before, but I've been back sort of country roads, but so it hasn't been really, like, it's pretty typical. But driving it, being a passenger in a tractor through town, going through the city and in more populous, non-tractory areas, it's quite an experience. It was quite a novel experience. That's for sure. Anyway, everybody, we're going to go off to another jingle, and the last little story. This is going to be, now I always say this, but I feel that this is going to be a snappy, quick, saucy, maybe not saucy, but it's going to be not too long, I don't think, this episode. Anyway, let's get into the next bit. So I think it was Monday last week. Okay, I could be specific on that date for you. It was not Monday just gone, the one before. Okay, I had I think to use the term business meeting is a stretch, but I had a meeting with somebody. It was interesting, because I reached out to this particular group, use that terminology, about something, and they got back in touch, and they were like, well, do you want to have a chat? So I was like, okay. So I had a talk with somebody about things, and it was an interesting it was positive without immediate action, if I could use that terminology. You might have a talk with somebody, it's all very good, and they're like, yeah, you can't, or we'd like to do something, but we can't do something now. It's got to be a little bit later. So that's sort of how it was. It was positive, but without immediate action. And I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, well, I wasn't really sure what I wanted out of it, I guess, or what I was expecting. It was either going to be like sink or swim, and I'm probably halfway in between. I'm sort of like, I don't know, maybe I've got a slow leak, so I'm slowly going down. However, I can be saved. Might be how I am. I'm not gone straight away like the Titanic. I've got a slow leak, just a drizzle of a leak. I'm just slowly taking on, and as a result, I will slowly sink. However, it's not dire. The water can be pumped out of me, and I can be saved. But yeah, I mean, I guess I wasn't really sure what to expect or what I wanted out of the. Well, I guess I had a bit of an idea of what I wanted out of the meeting, but the reasons for not the immediate action, I think, were pretty reasonable. I think sometimes you can have a conversation with somebody and they will give you reasons as to why maybe something can't happen immediately, and you get into a situation, or you at least do feel that it is just a bit of garbage, you're like, okay, and you don't really take it on board positively. But I think at least in this instance, I could say that I feel that the reasonings for not having immediate action, I think, are quite feasible. And also there was a setup there was a setup for, a follow-up in the future. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens. I might initiate a follow-up just before we agreed to, or before they said they would follow up or come back to me. So I might do that if I don't forget about it. But so it was interesting. I'd say positive meeting I had, but without any immediate action. So it's a catch-22, give or take situation. Anyway, let's get ready to wrap it up. Well, everybody, that is it for this episode of the podcast. Now, I think the next one, let me have a look at my calendar here on the computer, the next one is going to be the night before Chris Vegas. I don't know why I said Chris Vegas for, but the next one's going to be the night before Christmas. So, look, I'll talk to you then. Have a good couple of weeks. Hope you get, your Christmas affairs in order, and also your New Year's affairs in order. I'll talk to you then, and I hope you have a good couple of weeks. And thanks for listening, and all that. Share it, whatever you're supposed to do with podcasts. I don't know. Nobody ever does anything divine except listen to it occasionally. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next episode, everybody. Thank you very much.